just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and
What's
now.
up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to Dope Individuals Only. I'm the only dope individual today. But listen, we gonna thug this bitch out, right? Hey, man, thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate y'all being here. You know what I mean? This is gonna be another 30-minute. I got shit to do. You know, I just came from, the daycare. I came home, right? And I was only supposed to be fixing something. And I walked in the door, and anybody who has dogs knows exactly how this feels. You walk in the door, and your dog shit everywhere. That's the absolute worst. I didn't come home to clean up dog shit. I didn't. But here I am, fucking elbow deep in dog doo-doo. He shit on my skates. He shit on the floor. He shit on my son's sneaker. Only one sneaker at that. I'm absolutely devastated right now. Like, y'all don't even know the pain that I'm in. For anybody who knows me knows I love to skate. Nigga he shit on my fucking skates, bro, and it wasn't like solid shit. It was watery shit. I gave him one doggy biscuit yesterday. One. I gave him and my other dog a doggy biscuit. And this guy shit everywhere. Listen, we off the dog poop, whatever, man. It's up now. My house, the windows are open, the ceiling fan is on. I'm trying to air this bitch out. So yeah, I'm really thugging this bitch out today, for real. But yeah, off the doggy poop, whatever. Yo, I felt compelled to make this episode because it's been a rough couple days for your boy. Like life been kicking my ass lately. Life been kicking my ass. I don't know how else to frame it. You know what I mean? I'm pushing on just like I do every other day, but the past couple days been rough. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to come on here, have a brief conversation, and lend a little bit of hope, a little bit of I don't even know what you want to call it, hope, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of help. That's what this show's all about. It's about starting the conversations, having the necessary conversations, and trying to help people overall in whatever way, shape, or form I can do so. But yeah, man, it's been a rough couple days. A lot of crying. I cried for the first time in a minute. Yes, it's necessary. Y'all niggas gotta cry. Y'all gotta cry. Men gotta cry too. Everybody think just because we men, we not allowed to cry, man. That whole big boys don't cry shit, that shit is dead. I've been told that shit my entire life, and I became a grown man years ago, and I suffered a long time. Don't mind the dogs. I like to let y'all hear the element that we in. This ain't no studio. We not there yet. You know what I mean? But it's necessary. It's necessary for us all to cry. We all feel pain. We all have hardships that we got to go through. And we think that as men, we supposed to be, fucking boulders, you know what I mean? As tough and strong as boulders. And we want to carry the weight on our shoulders, and we want to carry everybody's pain, including ours, and think that it's normal to not have any emotion and no emotional attachment to it. Hey, yo, you can hear it here first if nobody ever told you. You're destroying yourself, and I'm not perfect. It's been a very long time. It's probably been months since I cried. Maybe even, months. It's been months. But, it's necessary. It's necessary to get that weight off, get that stress off, that frustration, those emotional burdens, and cleanse yourself. You know what I mean? You can't do nothing for nobody if you ain't in good health, if you ain't in good mental, in a good mental space. You can't do nothing for nobody. You can't even take care of yourself. How you supposed to manage your family? How you supposed to take care of your kids, your girl? You know what I mean? How you supposed to help your moms and your neighbors and your community? You can't do none of that if you're not in a good mental space. Um, so yes, man, cry. It's okay. It's okay. If nobody told you it's okay, this is another man telling you that it's okay. It's okay. Cry in private. Not everybody want to see that shit. And usually when we cry, it ain't pretty. You know what I mean? That's a lot of everything involved in that one cry. But let that bitch out, man. Let that shit out. It's essential. It's essential for you to be able to keep pushing on and wake up tomorrow and put your feet on the ground and chase after what you want and go get what you want and make the world a better place and make your life exactly what you want it to be, purposeful. You know what I mean? Everybody think we supposed to be able to shoulder the whole load, and you don't have to carry it all by yourself. That's something I'm still learning. I've been married for 3 years, and I've been in a relationship with the same woman for 11 years. You know what I mean? And I still have a hard time opening up. This is the woman that I gave vows to, and I vowed to love, to hold, to protect, to cherish for the rest of my days, and I still have a hard time uh, being open enough to let her know how I'm feeling, like really deep inside. She's the only person that truly knows me. Um, Mom, I love you, but there's things that you're not even privy to, and that just is what it is. Um, but you gotta find that person that is truly is always gonna love you. I know my mom's always gonna love me. I love you too, Mom. But that person that is really gonna stick by your side day in, day out. My mother has her own life to live. My sister has her own life to live. My brother has his own life to live. Brothers and sisters. But that person that you choose to be your companion, they're gonna be there with you. And if you don't feel like you can count on that person to be there, I know I can count on Diana to be there. It's just being open enough to let her into what I'm dealing with and what I'm going through. But if you have that person that you're unsure that can handle the load that you're carrying and help carry that with you, you know what I mean? If that's what you're questioning, there's a very good chance that ain't the person for you. Um, and like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to open up with a person that I've shared 11 years of my life with. And that's because as a child, I heard so much that suck that shit up. Boys don't cry. Yo, I'm not trying to hear that shit. That shit don't hurt. You know what I mean? Everybody at every step of my life in childhood told me to, whatever I was feeling, whatever I was dealing with, to push that shit down and deal with it and keep that shit, internalize it, and figure out a way to keep pushing on, even though you just told me to internalize it. That's a horrible fucking way to live. It is. And it's traumatic. It's traumatic. I'm still dealing with shit from when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? I'm 27 years old. We're talking about 2 decades worth of pain. Two decades worth of trauma, 2 decades worth of emotions, and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and who the fuck I'm supposed to be. And there ain't no goddamn manual for this shit. And I'm sorry for all the profanity, but yo, this is passion. This is passion. And when I'm going through the things that I'm going through, just like you going through the things you going through, it don't always sound the most politically correct, but fuck your politically correct. People going through real problems. Straight like that. And when I say we gonna thug this bitch out, I really mean that shit. I really mean that we live that shit. Myself and men all over the world, people all over the world, but I'm speaking solely for the men right now. I'm speaking solely for the men. I can't speak for women. That ain't my job. That ain't my job. I can only let y'all know what we deal with and what I deal with. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's millions of us that go out there and we share that same pain that I'm talking about right now. And the craziest part is we don't lean on each other. Women love to talk shit about each other, but the one thing about women, when they going through some shit, there's a whole convoy of women that's sitting right there talking about, talk your shit, speak your truth. There's a whole convoy of women. Whole convoy of women. And men, we don't do that. I got a whole group of friends. I love all my brothers. I love all my niggas. I love all my friends. But we don't do that. That's not shit we do. You know what I mean? We don't share each other's pain. That's not the support system that we're comfortable with having. And that's where all that bottling everything up, that's where that shit stems from. We can't even talk to people we knew our entire lives and childhoods and experience real life shit with, and we can't even tell them exactly what the fuck is really going on. Know what I mean? That's trauma. No matter what way you slice that shit, that's trauma. That's stamped. It's so crazy that this is normal. It's not normal, but it's normal. And it's accepted. You know, and it's so crazy that if a man, to some women, if they go out there and they express themselves, you know what we get labeled as? Bitch ass niggas. You're too emotional. You know what I mean? That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. It almost puts in perspective that shit that Chris Rock said in his last stand-up, or second to last stand-up, where he said the only people that get unconditional love is women, children, and pets. Men, you got to figure that shit out. I know he's not beloved, but R.P. Kevin Samuels, even he said it. He said, and I don't agree with the point, especially because, you know, I'm in a space in my life where I realize that the one person I do need to lean on, and the one person I know I can count on, I just got to learn to open it up and actually do so, is my wife. But Kevin Samuel said something, and it resonated with me for a minute. And there's still some truth in it. You know what I mean? Especially if you're dealing with a woman who don't want to hear your pain. You know what I mean? He said, don't tell your woman you're paid. Find a therapist. You could be her therapist, but you got to go find a therapist. I've never been to a therapist. I think it would help, you know, in certain situations. But, you know, if you don't have anybody, I'm saying that to say, men, if you don't have anybody, go get a therapist. Y'all got to let that shit out. We got to let that shit out. It's essential. You know what I mean? We say women got intuition, you know what I mean, because they're so in tune emotionally. They're so in tune with their feminine side. You know? So when they're experiencing certain things emotionally and psychologically, they're level. Which is why they can put all the pieces to the puzzle. Which is why we miss a lot of shit, because we're not always balanced in that area. I'm trying to figure out how to get balanced in that area. I'm a work in progress. This shit's a journey. You know what I mean? I'm not always emotionally available. I'm not. And Diana hates when people think I'm fucking perfect. I do too. In all honesty. I hate it because it forces me to behave a certain way, trying to uphold the image as if I'm made of fucking steel. You know what I mean? I am a strong ass person. Nobody could take that from me. Nobody. I earn that shit. I earn that shit every single fucking day. I'm a strong ass individual. You know what I mean? But I ain't perfect. I make a whole lot of mistakes. I make a shitload of mistakes before I get it right. The only thing is why people think what they think about me is because they don't know. They know what I show them. They know what I tell them. It's kind of like social media. You know what I mean? You think people traveling all the time, you know what I mean? They're in different countries, they're doing different activities, they always moving around, and people get jealous of shit like that. Even I see my boys and they're like, damn, you in Florida? Damn, you at a concert? Damn, you doing this? Damn, you doing that? God damn. You know what I mean? But from the outside looking in, it looks good. It looks good, and I'm happy for you. I'm not hating. I'm happy for you. I want the same things you want. I want the same things you want. You know what I mean? I'm happy for you. You giving me something to strive for. We need to be doing more, Diana. That's always my mindset. We need to be doing more. Niggas is moving. Niggas is out there. They making moves. They having fun. They living, whatever the case may be. But what you don't know, because you don't know because they don't show you and they don't tell you is that, yeah, they enjoying themselves. They really are. But they got $30,000 in credit debt. They behind on they mortgage or they rent payment. You know what I mean? They couldn't buy their kids new school clothes. But we all out here living facades for each other, and really, you know, that ain't what it is. Nobody's really keeping it real. Nobody's really keeping it real. The one thing I could say is I keeps it real in that aspect. I don't show y'all motherfuckers anything to impress y'all motherfuckers. I could care less what y'all think in that aspect. You know what I mean? I work hard. I work hard today so I can live great tomorrow. That's always my mindset. That's always the mindset I tell people too. You know, it's easy. It's easy to pretend for people. It is. I've done it. I've done it in ways where my emotional availability isn't there. I've done it where, I'm upset about certain things and I don't say certain things. I kind of just grit the teeth and keep it pushing. I do it. I'm guilty in that aspect. Yo, man, there ain't no blueprint, like I said. There ain't no blueprint to help you find who you supposed to be in this life. There ain't. A whole lot of it's all trial and error. You know what I mean? And you can't let fear dictate who you're gonna be. I mean, that's a poor way to live. That's a bad way to live. Living out of fear. You know what fear is? Think about fear. Think about fear. Fear is you being afraid of something that could potentially happen and something that you're expecting to happen. But the reality is, what if it all works out? That's the one thing about fear. And that's something that we got to kind of push aside. And, you know, when we're dealing with fear, that's something that we got to be like, it could all work out for me. You know what I mean? Maybe people aren't gonna say that. Maybe she isn't gonna think this. Maybe he isn't gonna think that. Whatever the case may be. What if it all works the fuck out? What if it all works out? That's the mindset we all gotta have, including myself. You know what I mean? I'm doing this show just as much for y'all as for me. Probably even more for me than for y'all. You know what I mean? Because I go back, before I post these episodes, I go back and I listen to them once or twice. I mean, just to see if I enjoy the show. Because if I don't fucking enjoy the show, why would anybody else enjoy the show? Just like you got to be your biggest fan. I know we've all heard that, but you really do. I do that shit with my music too. You know, I'll go back and I'll fucking jam out like, yo, I remember writing this shit. This shit is fucking hard. So I lose my fucking mind, bro. I lose my mind that I could put certain shit together at a certain point in my life and I go back and listen to it and it just sounds so ahead of its time. So you got to be your own biggest fan. And I do that with this show. And I go back and I listen and I listen to what comes out of my mouth and how I word things and things of that nature. And I really sit and think. And I'll sometimes pause the episode like, you know, was I right in that aspect? Is that the right frame of mind? Is that how I should be approaching this? You know, and I critique myself and I, like I said, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better in every facet. Every facet. There's plenty of things that I want to do, that I've been planning to do, that I've been working on doing, and I ain't get there yet. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm working towards it. As long as you're working towards it, you Gucci. You good. As long as you're working towards it. Don't stop working towards it, because eventually you're going to get there. But if you stop, it's the only true way of failing is if you quit. And that's something I always got to remind myself. You know, I've like I said, I've had plenty of hardships, and then you get in the middle and you're just like, I don't even want to go through this shit no more. I don't even want to do this shit no more. But if you're going through hell, just keep going. Because if you turn back, if you turn all the way to fuck back, you got to do it again. Especially if you truly want to get there at some point. You got to do it all over again. You got to go through what you just went through and then more of what you never even experienced when you could have did it once. Yo, my wife told me yesterday, she said, you can lie to me all you want. Lie to me all you want. She said, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Why do we lie to ourselves? Why do we lie to ourselves? We all lie to ourselves. But for what? For other people who really aren't concerned with us because they got their own lives and their own baggage and their own hardships and their own goals. What are we lying to ourselves for? So we could fit into a crowd? I listened to this one podcast. I can't even remember the name, but it's these two women and it's a spiritual based podcast and it's dope. It's dope. It's two black women and it's so fucking dope. I'm gonna put the link in the description, but it's so fucking dope. And they had this this episode that I listened to today, and it just spoke to me, especially with the type of week that I had. And there's a lot of what I'm talking about now, where it's like, yo, we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. These are self-inflicted wounds. Self-inflicted wounds. Do we not know any better? Do we enjoy the fucking pain? Why it almost seems like we're all running away from happiness. It all seems like we're running away from purpose. It all seems like we're running away from actual joy. Is that what the human experience consists of? Running from everything you actually want? Yo, there's a whole group of people out there. You sitting there trying to fit in with a crowd you don't actually belong in. Guess what? Two things are going to happen. They're going to notice you're a fraud and you don't actually belong there, and you're depriving yourself of a community that actually wants you. A whole group of people is actually waiting out there for you. I remember when my wife was contemplating getting weight loss surgery, and she was so goddamn concerned what I was thinking, what her brother was thinking, her mom, her cousin, everybody. We all had fucking opinions, including myself. I'm guilty of it. She would have done what she did back in this past June 3 years ago had I not stood in her way, had her people that she was supposed to be getting support from and help and love and just all types of support from, we all stood in her way. And if you ask my wife, does she regret her decision? She'd tell you no, it was one of the best decisions she's ever made in her life. You know? And sometimes I feel guilty about that. I do. I dissuaded somebody from pursuing something that they really wanted. I didn't make the decision for her. You know, she could have said, fuck you, Eric, and went about her business, but I played a role in that. There was some beauty that came out of her not choosing what she wanted to do back then. There was some beauty out of it. She learned some things about herself in the process, but eventually she got back on the path that she was essentially going to be on 3 years before. You know? I forget the point I was even making, but, you know, we do that to each other. She did something. She went against her own thoughts and feelings and beliefs and everything because of what we thought and what we had to say about it. Even though somewhere inside of her, she knew she was right. And she didn't get the support she needed from us. But guess what? She got the surgery. Oh, this is the point. She got the surgery, and there was an entire community waiting for her before she even made it happen. A whole fucking bariatric community, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people waiting for her with encouragement, with praise, with help, with support. And she wouldn't have known that unless she took the step, unless she did it herself. That shit's inspirational. If there's anything that we should take away from this episode is that there's an entire community waiting for you. Just get out of your own way. Now, I mean, live the life that you want to be. Truly be free. Everybody, we talk about freedom. America's the land of the free. It is to an extent. America and the people in America have a great way of ostracizing people, making people feel like they're not good enough, making people feel like, I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words, man. I'm at a loss for fucking words. But we do it to each other, and we do it to ourselves. All out of what? Out of fear. And fear is what? A figment of our imagination. Because guess what? Guess what? What if it all works out? I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. And it's sad. It's sad. But the climate is changing. If there's one thing that the past couple of years taught us is that self-care is important, especially with the pandemic, with all of us being locked inside the house for months and even for some years, depending on what your lifestyle was like. It taught us that our mental health is very important. It taught us that self-care is very important. It taught us that you can't help nobody unless you can help yourself first. It taught us that we need to be comfortable in our own skin. You know what I mean? It's funny. You walk around today, right? A couple years ago, we were all wearing masks everywhere you go. And today you see a person with a mask. You're like, dude, what the fuck? What you got a mask on for, bro? We outside. Now you look like the weirdo again. But just, that shit was normal just months ago, a year ago. You know what I mean? But I give kudos. I still have that same thought process. Like, bro, why you got a mask on? But I give kudos to the people that's still wearing them because guess what? They're free. They're wearing a mask because they want to. Who the fuck cares if we're all not wearing masks? Who the fuck cares if stores are letting us in with no masks and we can sit next to each other in restaurants and movie theaters? Who cares? They're living on their terms. That's what we all need to do. We need to live on our terms. We need to truly be happy for the people that we are, truly accept ourselves, and be comfortable in that. And if the people that are around you don't accept that and aren't comfortable with that, guess what? They ain't supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be with you on your journey. And that's fine too, because guess what? Somebody that is supposed to be there is going to come in and fill that void. It's so crazy that I can give out this type of information and knowledge because I've experienced it and I still haven't figured it out myself. But I am going to figure it out. I am going to figure it out. There's just going to be a day where I'm just like, I'm going to take my own fucking advice. I'm going to take my own advice starting today. And whoever doesn't like it, you can kiss my ass. You know what I mean? Today ain't the day. I still care. I still care a little bit more than I probably should, but I'm a work in progress. It's a fucking journey. Hey, yo, thank y'all for showing up. I know it's a short episode, but some things don't need an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Some messages don't need many words for the message to resonate. I truly believe that. My wife said a couple words to me yesterday. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. And that right there is what this whole episode is about. That right there is why I'm recording this right now. That right there is exactly why the past couple days have almost been hellish for me. I'm figuring it out. I'm on the upside of this now, but it's the truth, man. It's the truth. Get out of your way. I'm trying to get out of mine. Try to get out of yours. How about that? I make it sound so easy when I say get out of your own way, as if I got it the fuck figured out. Who the fuck am I, right? Who the fuck am I to judge you? Try to get out of your own way. I'm gonna try as well. I'm gonna live what I preach. I'm gonna work on what I preach. But I need you. I need you to do the same. I need you to look in the mirror and be happy with the person that you see. I need you to let people know how you feel if you feel a way. Especially my fellas. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. The world don't always love us, but there's love in the world for us. I promise you. I'm living proof. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you're still amongst the stars.
I've been on my grind
Peace.
just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now.